morning, good afternoon, or good evening. This is Pamela, and you are watching Pam Entertainment TV, where we review movies, television series, and incidents in pop culture. Y'all, I popped on here to see what y'all was doing because I don't have very much to talk about. I have messed around some kind of way, and I don't know if it's I don't know if it's the Achilles. I don't know what it is, but I have messed up my heel. I was dancing with my nephew, and you know. You know how you think you can drop it. It's not to, you know what? I don't ever realize my age until the day later. I'm always doing stuff, and then the day later, something tells me now that little innocuous thing should have not caused for my heel to hurt like it does. But I've got it iced and everything like that. So, but how are y'all doing? Y'all, please hit that like button. Please share this video if you care. I sure would appreciate it. So, listen. I just came on here because we've been talking about it maybe for about a couple of days. I made a video about it, and I've heard some other. This is not the only topic that I wanted to talk about, but and I have mulled over it, not because it was such a dramatic topic that I want to think, but it just seems how I'm starting to believe how people like to play in our faces for some reason. Because what we know to be true actually is to be true. But sometimes we want to give people like the benefit of the doubt a lot. And when we give them the benefit of the doubt, we just suspend all kinds of reality. And that's the thing with this Shannon Sharp thing. Now, I know everyone's like, everyone has their little think pieces on ha he was doing all this other stuff. But then I just started to really think about it because I did a video on Instagram where I went through the processes of getting on live. And then I realized it takes about 2 or 3 steps. Now, initially I was like, okay, maybe he was trying to do a video. He was trying to record it, try to do a video, and ended up on live because I could almost see that. But y'all think he was doing this to promote those erectile dysfunction pills that he had? Do you all think that was the case? Do you think that this is what he was doing it for? Because I went and watched a little. I didn't watch it all. I went and watched a little bit of that. What was it, Nightcap? And the energy seemed off because I did appreciate the fact that Ocho Cinco got his licks back because the other day he was going off on him about being late and getting him a car and just doing all kinds of stuff. He at that point Shannon Sharp was being teamed too much. But now that night he was, it was almost like there was some kind of sense of pride. And then what was really getting to me is for him to say that he is such a private individual. He really kept calling that girl's name. Or is it just me? Is it just me? Because you know how the internet is. That's just they're just chomping at the bit to figure out who it is. Now, for what reason, I do not know, because you know me, I don't really care one way or the other. But I just started looking at it a little differently, and I'm like, I wonder, was this publicity? Because the internet sleuths came out. The internet sleuth was running around here talking about, oh, you noticed that all that was going on, and he said he threw the phone on the bed, and the phone wasn't moving. Because I didn't know he had said that. I initially thought he had put it on the dresser or something, because it didn't if you saw the initial video, it didn't appear like he threw it. It appeared like it was placed. So I thought it was on the dresser somewhere, but that's neither here nor there. But my question to y'all is, y'all think he was over there hawking them? This was a way for him to hawk them pills, because ESPN didn't get rid of them. They're pretty much backing him back and forth. And I know Paul Pierce is crying wolf or crying foul, excuse me, because you remember ESPN fired him for publishing that that picture with him and all the scantily clad women in the back. So maybe because we really didn't see Shannon, we just heard him. So they, it could have been a backing track. We don't know. We don't know. The other thing I wanted to go over really quickly is, and I did do a video because all of these topics I did do a video on, but I didn't do one on this one. So rest in peace to uh Frankie Beverly. He passed away last week, and you know, all us aunties and grandmas and grandpas, we was sick. We was sick. I think I had been playing uh my Frankie Beverly for the past 2 or 3 days now. I can't do it the first day, but I've been playing it past 2 days, and I'm just, and I listen to it. I guess because I like the bop and bop and bop to it. But when you sit down and listen to what the words that he was saying, we no longer have soul singers. I think soul singers are really missing. Everything else, like when you talk about contemporary R&B, people are talking about how they gonna smack it and flip it and rub it down and all this other stuff. We don't have soul singers anymore, people who are singing from their soul for whatever type of love that they're singing about, where they're talking about the love of their family, the love of their woman, the love of their man, the love of whatever it is. We don't seem to have those soul singers anymore, or anything makes them that they're passionate about. Uh, we don't have those types of singers. Everything is like, now there is this formula, and everybody is thrown into this formula because there was a time, and again, telling my age. I am telling my age. So don't take this any other thing, but it's just that it's a life experience. When I listen to a lot of music today, and there's some bops. Do not mishear me. Some of y'all are out here bopping. There's some bops. But I do miss the time when I can tell the difference uh from one singer to the next singer. You know what I mean? Because you can have Tyla out here singing, but she sounds no different than an Ariana Grande, or sound any different than any of these other singers. And I know you're going to say, well, you're trying to mess people who can sing. And listen, the same vocal qualities are the same. What bothers me a lot of times that people aren't singing. And what I mean by that is, a lot of young people, when I listen to your song, I don't have any question whether or not some of you all can sing, but I don't think that you all have the confidence to tell a story with your voice. So you throw all of these unnecessary runs in the song. It's just my opinion. And remember, y'all, this is freestyling. This is Freestyle Sunday. So we're just talking about topics, going back and forth across topics. There is no script. But I do miss the days where I can tell a voice differently. And it didn't matter if you were a black singer or a white singer. I do miss the days that I can listen to and think like, oh, okay, that's Whitney Houston. Oh, okay, that's Mariah Carey. Oh, Mariah, just by listening to the person, I can tell whose song it is. And I do miss the days where and I don't know, is this because of attention spans being so short now? Because songs always seem to end at 3 minutes or 2 minutes and 58 seconds. Is it because, because I don't think that you can tell, because y'all don't go take it to the bridge. There's no switch turns in the songs anymore. I don't know if that's the proper terminology, but there's always like a little switch in the song. The song starts here, it gets here, it gets here, then it gets to the point to right here, and then there's like a little switch, and then it's just like it fades on out, it goes on out. I don't know what the name of that terminology is, but there's no more of that in songs anymore. I don't know, but rest in peace, Frankie Beverly. You know what? I have watched probably the day before yesterday so many think pieces, because I did the video of Lil Wayne talking about his disappointment of not being selected for to be the halftime artist to do the show, halftime performance. And I've heard a lot of people talk about their opinion about Wayne and all of this other stuff about how he's in the middle of a concert now and his tickets aren't selling. And I think that it's just a sign of the times. I don't think any major artist right now uh, is pulling in people for tickets and ticket sales because you know everything is just too damn high right now. People don't have the as much of the disposable money as they used to have. I think Beyonce came out and got most of everybody's disposable coin. So there's not that much disposable money as people had probably a year ago or a year and a half ago. So I don't think tickets and people doing tickets and selling and things like that, I don't think people are spending that much money on that because of the fact, again, everything is so high. I went to the grocery store, and for me, $60 at the grocery store, I can get a pretty good, even when I'm not all my purchases is food. I can still have enough. I can still put $60. I can still purchase enough that I'd have enough food that I can have for like a week, week and a half. And this is fresh. It's fresh fruits, frozen foods, dry goods, and beverages. Child, I went the other day and I was just amazed that when I looked down in the cart, I was like, I only have like 8 items. And 8 to 10 items, and everything is costing 45 when because I make mines at home because mayonnaise was too expensive. When I learned the simple ingredients that you can use to make mayonnaise, I make mine at home. But I was going down the aisle because I was like, I probably don't want to make any. I'm gonna pick some up. Came right out of home and made me a good size, a little bit of man. Do y'all mayonnaise is $5, 4 and 5? And I live in the South, and usually things are a little bit cheaper in the South. But mayonnaise was $5. Since when? Ketchup $3.35. What? We used to be able to get ketchup for $1. Things are too high. Things are too much high. What's going on? Hey Hazel, Megan is rich. I never heard of a rich person or people paying mortgage and $75,000. Who are we talking about? Oh, we talking about oh, you talk about that, child. You know what? I would say this. What I have learned about the entertainment business, and like I said, don't quote me head to toe, but you could say that you made $5 million last year, and right off the top of that $5 million, you've got to pay agents, you've got to pay publicists, you've got to pay all of these people, and then you're probably left with and you've got to pay taxes on the totality of that 5 million from your cut. So after that $5 million, you are probably walking away with a million half. And so living over out there in California, I am quite sure oh, I know it is. It's mega expensive. If you did not buy or restructure your home loan back into, what was it, 2008, and you start buying houses in this period of time, difference between night and day. Some of those homes out there in California, which before around 2008, 2009, you would get those homes for 3 or 4 million dollars. Those same homes now worth 13, 14, 15 million dollars. So I don't know what to tell you. All of that stuff. And and the way I feel about all of this right here, that's their business. Now I will be interested to see what goes on at that trial. I'm still interested to know if what's going on with the appeal, but all that other stuff, y'all, if y'all have followed me long enough, you all know that I started my show, Stunt Shows and Shenanigans, because whenever there is a positive move in that case, there'll be some stunts, some shows, and shenanigans going along. So this tells me, with all the information that I've seen, that means that there's about to be something that's gonna come out. Something about the case, something about that, because when you start seeing, because if you really look at it, everything has pretty much died down for them. And now all of a sudden there are articles coming out and publications that I've never seen before, talking about certain things and all this other stuff. Those are the stunts and the shows and the shenanigans. So that tells me something else is coming up. Something else is coming up in regards to the court case or something like that. Because again, anytime there is any movement on anything, and even if it looks like it's going to be positive for Jonathan Majors, there's always going to be some stunts, some shows, and shenanigans. So uh I don't know. I don't know. And honestly, that kind of stuff, I'm just not really caring. I'm caring about the case. I'm caring about all those other stuff because again, I told y'all, it's always stunts, shows, and shenanigans when it comes to that. So, but it is interesting to see how quickly, and that's that thing about show business. You can be on top making a whole lot of money in one section, and then something can derail you, and it'll take all your money away. You know, I'm not saying that this man doesn't have any money. I don't know. I am not his accountant. I couldn't tell you nothing about how much money they have. But it is always interesting to me that all these publications and all these places that you've never heard before are talking about it. And what's also interesting is how everyone latches on to all of this stuff, which is fine. If you want to tell a story and all those other things, go ahead and do what you got to do. I'm not going to begrudge anybody anything. However, again, with that particular case, there is always stunt shows and shenanigans, and y'all need to look out for that. And sometimes you just can't fall for the okey doke of all these stunt shows and shenanigans and stuff like that. But anyway, sure, a mess. But yeah, that is interesting. The number, how much that number is. That's interesting in regards to what old girl is asking for. That's an interesting coinky dink. That is an interesting coinky dink. But we'll continue. But we're gonna look out for stuff because, like I said, something major is coming down the pipeline pretty soon. It seems, because when the stunts and the shows and the shenanigans start pulling out, something is coming real quick down that pipeline. So yeah, Hazel, that was a little coinky dink. But let's move to it's coming off the top of my head real quick. What are y'all feeling about honestly? How y'all feeling about this quote unquote controversy about Kendrick Lamar being picked for the Super Bowl, being halftime act for the Super Bowl? And how are you feeling about these other rappers that are coming out talking and being upset and everything like that because Kendrick Lamar has a Super Bowl? What I can't understand is, and I don't know if it's an entitlement type situation. And when I'm talking about entitlement, I am not necessarily talking about rich people. I'm talking about people believe that because there are certain situations going on and they feel that somebody else has done something, that they're now entitled to get the same thing that somebody else got. Now, there was this big brouhaha about, well, Dr. Dre was from the city of Los Angeles, and he was able to play the city, and they're supposed to. Wayne is from New Orleans, and he should have been on the halftime show because he's from New Orleans. And again, shout out to Jay Black. I screenshotted this off of his channel. But when you look at the place of origin of the headliner, That was an anomaly within itself. You see right here, 2022, Los Angeles, Dr. Dre and friends, and he in the place of origin of Dr. Dre was Los Angeles. And you look at everything else, that was an anomaly. No, we're talking about from 2010 to 2024. That was an anomaly. That's not how it worked. That's not how it worked. That's not how it worked on any other thing. And I think a lot of times people think because Jay-Z is part of the curating team for the halftime show that he was supposed to just, pick Lil Wayne and he was supposed to have done this. And then we find out that it was by committee. And not only after the committee had put down their short list, they sent it to New Orleans and they didn't even, and his city didn't pick him. But then you had all of these people, Birdman and Juvenile and Nicki Minaj and all of these people hollering and screaming that Lil Wayne was snubbed. Was he snubbed? Where was he on the short list? Now that's the interesting thing that I would love to see. City of New Orleans, the host the host and the committee that's using to be able to host that. Where was Lil Wayne on the short list? Was he on the short list that was given to you? I would love to know. Was he on that short list? And here's what's happened because like I said, Lil Wayne has a right to be able to express his feelings, his emotions, his things about that, and I will never begrudge him of that. But what I do see is sometimes silence, sometimes just talking behind the scenes and getting the people that surround you to talk behind the scenes, because I'm quite sure. I don't know what Kendrick's show is. I don't know how he's going to curate his show. What if it's just gonna be him, or if he's going to bring other people on? I'm not sure. But I could tell you this, with all of that hollering and screaming and whining and crying and all that other stuff, I wouldn't bring them on. Not because I'm being disrespectful, but it's like, you're not finna bully me to tell me that I'm supposed to. I get picked for something, and then you want to bully your way and cry your way and have all your people around here go off, because there's other things going on too, whether we want to admit it or not. There's issues between Nicki Minaj and Jay-Z. I think that there's issues between Birdman and Jay-Z. I think that there's issues between those particular camps. I don't know if Lil Wayne has any issues with Jay-Z, other than the fact that he was in one of his top 5 rappers. And in that video that I did, I felt like Lil Wayne was just hurt that his favorite rapper didn't pick him. But the way I was reading into what Lil Wayne was talking about, it seems like someone somewhere, whether it be his manager or whoever, it seems like somebody must have put in his ear, allegedly, excuse me, y'all, that he was on the top list of being a performer. And then I'm finding out that Lil Wayne is in the middle of a concert now. His tickets aren't selling, and they're saying that he's up there forgetting the words. He's forgetting the words to his song. Now, let me tell y'all, I've seen a many artists who have had as many hits, because I think I put it up on the screen. Lil Wayne is dealing with several albums that he's put out, right? I can see that he could forget the words of so many of those rap songs that he has put out. I can see, but I think at this point in the game, you get your strong 15, and then you rehearse those strong 15. But they say Lil Wayne don't like to rehearse, allegedly. They say Lil Wayne doesn't like to rehearse. Lil Wayne doesn't like to do all of that. Coming off of when a lot of people talk about Lil Wayne when he first came, they talked about his work ethic and how he'd go from a video, he does his scene, he'd go back to the trailer here, and he'll say, how long do I got? He'll pump out some songs, to being on stage now where he's forgetting his his words. He's forgetting all of these different things. Interesting. So I don't know. I'm looking forward to the halftime show. If uh, Kendrick Lamar brings Lil Wayne out, that's a wonderful thing. But I honestly think Nicki Minaj and Juvenile and Birdman and all those people were huffing and puffing because they saw their opportunity to be on a stage like that dwindle. But what's going to be interesting is the fact that if it let's say that we picked Lil Wayne, and let's just say Lil Wayne has so many songs with, and that's that thing about being a rap artist and being authentic. A lot of y'all cuss like soldiers and sailors and things like that. And that's if that's what you want to do. But now you see it when it comes to something like this and a big stage and everything like that. You see that cussing and fussing and candy licking and all kinds of stuff. Those types of songs are not going to be compatible for a Super Bowl that's geared towards adults and geared toward children. So it's going to be interesting to see if they do bring him out, because I know for a fact Nicki Minaj is chomping at the bit to be at the Super Bowl. And so she just saw that her efforts uh dwindle because Lil Wayne wasn't picked. Because then you saw, like, if Lil Wayne was picked. And then here's the thing, y'all's homeboy, y'all's homeboy, Drake said they said that he turned it down twice. That's what I'm hearing in the streets. So your homeboy didn't even think to care about what's going on over there in the New Orleans, or over there in from the New York City. He didn't care too much about anything to do this halftime show or to do a halftime show. Now, I will say, because again, whether however you feel, you can't not deny the fact that Drake is one of the uh higher grossing rappers out here, and his shows I don't remember, and y'all let me know, I don't remember any of his shows uh not being, I don't want to say sold out. They may all have been sold out, but I don't remember any a time that he has had a situation where uh what's his name, like Quavo, everybody was just around the stage. They told everybody who bought seats just to come around the stage, you know that he couldn't fill out a 10 or 15,000 amphitheater. I've not heard that. At least he'll have three-fourths of the tickets sold. And he was a big draw. So I don't know, when they asked him, was he on tour? Was he in album mode? I don't know exactly what was going on. Was he out of the country? I don't know exactly what was going on when they asked for him to do that, to headline that Super Bowl, but I don't know exactly. I saw somebody come in here. Let's see. Hey, Blue. How you doing this fine Sunday? I'm just up here chit-chatting, see what y'all talking about. Oh, thank you so much for the $3 super sticker. I appreciate that. I really, really do. I appreciate it. Thank you, Blue. Y'all go check out Blues and Blues House. He gets over there and they do a whole lot of great entertainment. I think tomorrow is Monday, and that's with Blue, Mika, and Dre Mack. They do Blurred AF. They have great topics over there. And I know Blue does a show on Thursday with Mika, and they go back over the topics as well. So y'all go check those shows out. All right. We've reached the 30-minute mark. And like I said, I was not going to be on here long. I was just rehashing some of the stories of the week. Again, stunt shows and shenanigans won't come back until it's on hiatus until October the 6th. So that's a Sunday. It comes back because this is my birthday month. And I am doing content through the week because I do that. But on the weekends, I got things to do. So, and my birthday comes up on the 25th of this month. So I'm going to be out here doing my own stunt shows and and have been every weekend. But today was one of the slower weekends, a slower day. So I decided to come up here and have a little chit chat with y'all to see what you all were doing. But again, join me October 6th for my what is that? In season 2. And so y'all join me for some stunt shows and shenanigans. It might be a recap episode where we recap the stuff that I have missed, and then we'll continue to go forward. Oh, are you all registered to vote? It's coming up to where you all need to check the rolls to make sure that you're still on it. Uh, check with your state's Secretary of State. I think it is. That's the place, but or go online and go through your where you vote. I mean, go online and check your rolls because y'all, it's not that I didn't think it was impossible, but I have heard some of my mutuals in different states talk about how they had, they voted in uh election after election. They may or may not have voted in, and it's important to whatever election is going on, you go vote. Figure out what the candidates stand for and go vote. Whatever reaches out to you, figure out which candidate means has aligns with what your morals, your values, or your economic needs at that time, and go vote for. It's not because whether we realize it or not, and I'm not endorsing any candidate, but I do understand and believe that whether you realize it or not, there's a lot of us that say, I'm not really big into politics. You don't have to. Some people have a great time going over politics, but you do need to just look over the information and see what happens, because politics does impact your life, whether you think it does or doesn't. It impacts your life. There's no need to sit back and say, well, I don't understand why they won't do this. Well, they won't do that because there's nobody literally pushing them or asking them to do it. Your politician talks to and serves the squeakiest wheel. So if your wheel is not squeaking, then they don't believe that you need anything. The same thing about the roads and things like that. If you're not complaining about potholes in your city, and you're not going to your councilman, and you're not leaving a paper trail, things won't get done. But anyway, check the rolls, because, and particularly if you live in southern states, check your roll. Even if you live in northern states, Midwest states, you all need to check if you've registered to vote, and particularly if you have been registered to vote for probably 15 to 20 years, go check it out, because these mofos are running around here seriously deleting people off the road. If you didn't vote in 2 election cycles, go check the rolls, because they're not supposed to delete your name until they have confirmation that you are deceased, and that confirmation is a death certificate. But they're out here deleting people, or if you're incarcerated. But these people are out here deleting people from the rolls, just because you hadn't voted in 2 or 3 cycles. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you only vote once every 10 years. As long as you're still alive, they're not supposed to be taking you off the voting roll. So y'all go over there and check the rolls and vote for whoever resonates with what you with your morals, your values, and your economic needs. All right, people. We do this every week. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Please share the stream if you care. Please tell a friend, tell a kin, tell a coworker, tell that heifer that you can't stand that I'm over here making these videos. And again, if something comes up in the news cycle, I'm going to make a video, but stunt shows and shenanigans won't be back until October 6th. All right, people. Bye-bye.